I caught my best friend cheating with my fiancé a week before our wedding. So I just need to vent and maybe get some advice because my world is falling apart right now. My fiancé, Jake, and I were supposed to get married next week. We've been together for 5 years and I thought I knew everything about him. I was wrong. My best friend, Claire, has been by my side since we were kids. We've been through everything together: school, breakups, family drama. She's practically a sister to me. She was even going to be my maid of honor. Our friendship was one of the constants in my life, and I couldn't imagine a future without her in it. Jake and I met during our junior year of college. He was charming, funny, and incredibly supportive. We quickly became inseparable, and I knew early on that he was the one. Our relationship wasn't perfect, but we always worked through our problems, or so I thought. A few days ago, I was feeling really stressed with all the wedding planning, so I decided to take a walk and clear my head. I ended up at Jake's apartment, hoping he could help calm me down. When I got there, his door was slightly open, which was weird. I walked in quietly, thinking he might be asleep or something. What I saw shattered my heart into a million pieces. Claire and Jake were on the couch, making out like there was no tomorrow. They didn't see me at first, and I just stood there, frozen in shock. When they finally noticed me, the look on their faces was a mix of horror and guilt. I couldn't even find the words to say anything. I just turned around and left. I haven't spoken to either of them since. Claire has been blowing up my phone with apologies and excuses, but I can't bring myself to respond. Jake sent a few texts saying it was a mistake and begging for forgiveness. I feel so betrayed and humiliated. I trusted them both more than anyone else in the world, and now I don't know what to do. The wedding is next week, and I can't even think about walking down the aisle now. My family keeps asking what's wrong, but I haven't told them yet. The worst part is that this betrayal is coming from the two people I loved and trusted the most. I replay the scene in my head over and over, trying to understand how this happened. Did I miss the signs? Was I too wrapped up in the wedding planning to notice what was going on right under my nose? I've been staying at my parents' house, trying to figure out my next move. My mom knows something is up, but I can't bring myself to tell her. I feel so ashamed and embarrassed. How do I even begin to explain this to everyone? Update 1. Thanks to everyone who commented and messaged me with support and advice. It means more than you know. After a few days of wallowing in my misery, I decided that I wasn't going to let Claire and Jake get away with what they did. They both deserve to face the consequences of their actions. First, I called off the wedding. I told my family and close friends the truth about why I couldn't go through with it. Everyone was shocked and supportive, which helped a lot. My parents were furious, especially since they had paid for most of the wedding expenses. Next, I decided to get a little creative with my revenge. Claire had always been obsessed with social media and her image. She had this perfect facade that she worked hard to maintain, so I decided to take that away from her. I compiled all the evidence. I had the texts, the photos, and even a few screenshots from Claire's desperate attempts to apologize. I created a detailed post explaining everything that happened and shared it on my social media accounts. I made sure to tag Claire and Jake, and I didn't hold back on the details. The post went viral within our circle, and soon everyone knew the truth. Claire's social media accounts were flooded with angry comments, and Jake's reputation took a massive hit. They both tried to do damage control, but the truth was out, and there was no going back. Claire's parents, who had always been very strict and image-conscious, were devastated. They cut her off financially and kicked her out of the house. Jake lost several friends and even a job opportunity because of his actions. As for me, I'm trying to move forward. It hasn't been easy, but I'm focusing on myself and my future. I started therapy, which has been a lifesaver, and I'm planning a solo trip to clear my head. I'm not sure what the future holds, but I know I'm stronger than I ever thought I could be. Thanks again for all the support. If anyone has any more advice or just wants to share their own experiences, I'd love to hear from you. Update 2. Hello again, everyone. I wanted to give another update on how things have been since my last post. Your support has been incredibly helpful, and I want to share how things have been progressing. After the fallout from my revenge post, I decided it was time to take care of myself and figure out what I wanted for my future. I took that solo trip I mentioned, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I traveled to a small coastal town, spent my days hiking, reading, and reflecting on everything that had happened. It gave me a lot of clarity and helped me start the healing process. When I returned, I felt more grounded and ready to face the world again. I decided to make some significant changes in my life. First, I moved out of my parents' house and got my own apartment. It felt liberating to have my own space and start fresh. Decorating my new place and making it my own has been therapeutic. I also threw myself into my career. I took on more projects at work, which kept me busy and helped me regain my confidence. My colleagues have been incredibly supportive, and their encouragement has meant the world to me. As for Claire and Jake, I heard through the grapevine that things haven't been easy for them. Claire moved out of state to stay with a distant relative, and Jake is trying to piece his life back together. I haven't had any contact with either of them, and I plan to keep it that way. Some bridges are better left burned. Recently, I've started dating again. It was scary at first, but I've met some great people and have even gone on a few fun dates. I'm taking things slow and focusing on what makes me happy. Looking back, I realized that what happened was a blessing in disguise. It forced me to reevaluate my life, my relationships, and what I truly want. I've learned to prioritize myself and my well-being, and I'm stronger for it. Thank you all again for your support and kind words. If you're going through something similar, know that it does get better. It takes time, but healing and happiness are possible. Stay strong and don't be afraid to take the steps you need to find your peace. Like and subscribe for more stories.